You're absolutely going to hate this, but it will burn literally all of your fat while you're asleep. And no, this is not a clickbait. I'm being 100% real. If you have this one thing, you're going to be burning fat without doing anything. Literally, just this one thing. And I know this may sound too crazy to be true, but here I'm going to tell you exactly what it is. And I'm going to tell you step by step how you can acquire this one thing so you actually see it for yourself. Okay, what is this one thing that will help you burn fat literally while you're sleeping? It is muscle. Guys, muscle is the metabolic powerhouse of the body. The more muscle you have, the more muscle you build, the more muscle there is attached to your skeleton. Your body is going to be burning more fat naturally. This is why you see a lot of bodybuilders who quit bodybuilding and go and, just eat pizza all day, still maintain their muscle and second, their body fat levels. They do not get out of shape as easily. This is because they have a lot of muscle built, a lot of muscle attached to their skeleton, to their bones. I want you to understand how important muscle really is. The more muscle you have, the better you'll feel, the less fat you'll have, the more fat you're going to burn, and overall, you'll look better and you will love your life. But I'm not even talking about it. I want to talk about muscle and body specifically, what is happening inside our body when we have more muscle, when you build more muscle. What happens inside your body so that you burn more fat? Basically, when you have more muscle, what's going to happen is your body will need to burn more energy to sustain that mass. Muscle is a mass, and your body needs to burn more energy. Just the way it is, it will need to burn more energy to sustain muscle. Your body needs more energy to sustain the same amount of muscle mass as fat. So for example, if you have 10 pounds of fat and 10 pounds of muscle, your body is going to need burn more energy to sustain 10 pounds of muscle than 10 pounds of fat. This is why the muscle is the metabolic powerhouse of your body. And this is why when you are at rest, when you're just sleeping or not doing anything, your body is just going to be burning more energy, more energy, more energy. You're going to be burning more calories, more calories, more calories. And you're going to be burning more fat, more fat, more fat by just having more muscle. And this is why the people that do diets, the people that do strict diets, like one lemon a day and a toast, lose weight and then plateau and they never lose more weight. And then worse, they quit and they gain all the weight back and even more. It's because they have never built muscle. So you need to have muscle and you need to be building muscle consistently over time while still watching over your nutrition, watching over you being in a calorie deficit, etc. Right? But the more muscle you have, then naturally you're going to be burning more calories. Basically, calorie is a unit of energy. You're going to be burning more calories and that's going to allow you to eat more while burning more fat. On top of that, you're going to be burning fat while literally you're just going through your day. If I move my hand like this, my body will have to burn more energy if I have more muscle. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. I hope that I internalize this into your brain and into your mind about how important muscle is and why the more muscle you have, the more fat you're going to burn. So with that being said, when we know that the more muscle we have, the better our metabolism is, the better we feel, and the more fat we burn, just naturally, just a while at rest, how do we actually then build muscle? That is a great question. And I'm going to go over how do you actually build muscle? Because a lot of people think that going to the gym seven times a week and being in there for like 3 hours a day is going to build your muscle. And trust me, there is a lot better way. There is a more efficient, real, truthful way to build muscle. And when I didn't notice, I was skinny fat, I had fat and no muscle while training in the gym 5 to 6, 7 days a week for 2 hours of workout. It was crazy. But once I understood how to actually build muscle, then I quickly, in a matter of 6 months, got in the best shape of my life and built a foundation I have right now. So how do you actually build muscle? Alright, so what you need to understand about muscle is that muscle will grow when your strength grows. When you get stronger, your muscle is going to get bigger. This is called progressive overload, and it is the fact of life. When you apply more stress, more weight, for example, or more reps to your muscle, it has to adapt, and it adapts by growing larger. So how do we actually build muscle then? Muscle, as I just said, just equals strength, or the other way around. Strength equals muscle. The more stronger you get, the more muscle you're going to build. And the more muscle you're going to build, the more fat you're going to burn, as we just discussed. So if we know that we need to get stronger to build more muscle, to burn more fat, how do we actually then get stronger? How do we actually build strength? So that way we build muscle and we lose more fat, literally while sleeping or not doing anything. All right, so I'm gonna tell you exactly how you get stronger. There are 3 components of it, and there is one thing that ties it all together. So let's get into it right now. The 3 components, the first thing you need to be focusing on is compound exercises. Compound exercises are exercises that require more muscles to contract to perform a repetition, to perform an exercise. Think squat, deadlift, overhead press, bench press, dips, pull-ups, any exercise that involves more muscle than one. So for example, think of bicep curl. Bicep curl, when you do a bicep curl, you're just targeting biceps. You're not targeting any more muscle than that. That is isolation exercise. Compound exercise, on the other hand, is for example bench press. When you do bench press, think about it. Your tricep, which is this muscle down here, your chest, even your legs will work when you do a bench press. That is a compound exercise. Compound exercise is an exercise that involves more muscle working to perform a repetition. And why compound exercises are the foundation of building strength and therefore muscle and therefore burning more fat, there is a couple of reasons. First of all, the more muscles involved, that means the stronger you can get. So on bicep curl, I cannot curl more than 20 kilos, right? But on a bench press, I can bench 100 kilos, right? And remember, the more strength, the more muscle. So the more weight we put on a bar or the more reps we do, we're going to build more strength and we're going to build more muscle. As well as compound exercises also trigger growth hormone. That is an anabolic hormone that is going to also help you build more muscle. So your main focus should be when trying to build muscle and trying to build strength is compound exercises. Have like 2 to 3 compound exercises, be like a border stone of every single one of your workouts, and try to get stronger. And I'm going to tell you how to get stronger in just a second on those exercises every single workout or every single week, and do that consistently over time. And what's going to happen is your muscle will need to adapt, and when it adapts, it builds more muscle and you burn more fat and you look greater and you feel greater and you're on top of the world pretty much. All right, so compound exercises, and I already kind of mentioned these next 2 foundations of strength. But basically, with compound exercises, to build more strength, you either do more reps with the same weight or you do more weight over time, and you pretty much just repeat this cycle over and over again until you have built strength and you have built muscle. And then the fit body, the strong body, the healthy life, you build it that way. So here is how that will look like on a day-to-day basis. So basically, I have a push workout set that is push exercises. So that is tricep, that is chest, that is shoulders. I have set for, let's say, Monday, right? So what I'm going to do is every single Monday, I'm going to, let's say that I lift 100 kilos bench press today. And let's say I lifted for 6 reps. The next workout on Monday, I'm going to go into the gym and I'm going to try to lift for 7 or 8 reps with the same 100 kilos. And if I manage to do that, I'm going to go home, rest, recover, eat a lot of protein. That's another thing I'm going to mention in just a second. And then the muscle grows, adapts, and we come back stronger again and try to do more reps again. So 9 or 10. And then once we hit, let's say for 10 reps with 100 kilos, what we do, we increase weight. And once we increase weight, let's say to 105 kilos, and we start all over again. 6 reps for 105 kilos. The next workout, we'll try to do 7 reps with 105 kilos. And you get the point. Over time, you're going to apply more and more strength, more and more force, more and more weight onto your body, and your body will have to grow. Your muscles will have to grow and adapt to that new load that you're putting on it. And it adapts by growing larger in size. And the one thing that ties to all of this is recovery. You need to have a lot of recovery in between your workouts and in between your sets. So set is basically 10 reps, 10 reps, 10 reps, right? But you need to have a lot of rest in between these sets. For example, 3 to 5 minutes of rest is the ideal rest period, because when you rest more and when you're feeling recovered for the next set, you're going to naturally be able to lift more weight. And if you do this properly, and when you do this properly, you're even not going to be that long in the gym. You're going to be only in the gym for about an hour, because there is only 2 to 3, maximum 4 exercises, 5 exercises, with those being 1, 2 isolation exercises, just to kind of cover up those isolation muscles that we don't really target with compound exercises. And we're pretty much done with the workout. And also, the rest between workouts is as equally as important, because because your muscles need time to recover and adapt. If I work out today chest and tomorrow I try to do chest again, I'm not going to be able to lift as much weight as I want to. I'm not going to be as refreshed and as recovered for that workout, and therefore I'm not going to be as strong, and I'm not going to be able to apply progressive overload. That means I'm not going to be able to lift more weight or do more reps. In about 48 to about 5 to 7 days of rest between your muscle groups, you should rest. All right, so once we know this, what is the final thing? I'll leave you with this. We mentioned it, but it is protein. You need to eat a lot of protein to build muscle. Muscle basically is fed by protein, and for that, eat about 150 to 200 plus grams depending on how much you weigh every single day, and this is going to feed your muscle so your muscles can recover itself, repair that tissue that you have destroyed by putting more stress, more weight on it, and then once it recovers, it adapts and it grows larger, and you just repeat the process all over again until you have built muscle and you have a lot of muscle on your body attached to your bones and to your skeleton. And when you have that, you just lose fat easily. That is it for this video. If you found it helpful, leave a like, and if you have any questions, please leave them below and we'll cover that topic in the next video. And that is about it. If you want to work one-on-one with us and you want us to make a strategy plan, an exact step-by-step strategy plan for you so that you lose all of your excess weight and you build lean, muscular, fit body, you have a link down below, first link in the description, to book a call to talk with either me or someone from my team. We'll take a look at you, we'll create a personal custom strategy for you and get you in that fit, muscular, male body physique that you want. If you're interested in that, click the first link in the description and I'll catch you in the next one. Build strength, build muscle. Bye.